Hello, this is a maintenance tutorial for a modern Pelikan 200. This would apply to any of the Sovereign models. But what we have here is a 200. I have two nibs. And this here is the pen. The pen unscrews. And I've already removed the nib for demonstration purposes. The way the pen functions is it acquires ink from the well through a piston which is operated with this turning feature right here. You can turn it to a point, it stops on its own, and turn it back. Through the ink view window right here, as I turn the piston right here, you can see right there the piston come in, and then as you draw it back, right there, it sucks the ink into the pen. Okay. Now, to insert a nib, if you're right-handed, grab the nib with your right hand, with your thumb safely on this. Don't hold it too firmly. And when you screw the nib into the barrel, use the barrel to do the motion. Keep this still. So it goes in like this, and screw the barrel until it's nice and firm. And when you do it this way, it keeps the nib from being misaligned from the black feed underneath. Okay. This nib in particular is an italic, which, let's see if I can get a view of it. An italic nib has a flattened tip. There, you can see it right there. A flattened tip leaves a thicker line. And to unscrew the nib, it's the same process in reverse. Grab the nib firmly, or after you've used it, you may want to grab it with a piece of paper. Grab the nib firmly and unscrew with this part. And now you've retracted the nib, dump it in a glass of water, the ink will come off. Same process with applying the other nib. Grab it firmly, twist with the barrel, and this nib is a fine point. Let me see if I can focus. It won't let me focus. But anyway, this nib, a fine point nib, will actually write a very thin line on the paper. Now, I'm going to retract this nib, and for demonstration purposes, use the italic. I'm going to draw back on the camera, and I'll show you how to ink the pen. I have here a diamine sepia ink. So I'm going to dip this tip into the ink until the ink level comes to about right here. Okay, and when I dip it in, I'm going to draw back on the piston so that as the piston goes up, it sucks the ink in. But first, I'm going to prime it by bringing the piston forward. I'm going to bring the piston this way just a little bit. So, as you can see now, there's no ink in the barrel. I've primed the piston by withdrawing it a little bit. I'm going to insert the pen into the ink and then tighten the piston, which draws the ink into the pen. I'll withdraw the pen, wipe off the ink, and that's it. You have a charged pen. With a charged pen, I'll post it. So the pen is now posted into the cap, and we have a live pen. And these write very well. And as you can see, there's variations of the shading of the color. This area is lighter, this area is darker. And these pens are such that when the ink is laid down, especially with a nib like this, you'll have shadings in the color. So this is something very useful. And an italic nib is one that's similar to this. And you can draw some lines. The downstroke are thicker than the horizontal strokes. And this makes it very useful for accentuated lettering. So, with standard writing, looks as that. You can write fast with it. Or you can take your time with it. The ink is consistent and will always come out with these pens. They're very reliable. Okay. Now, to clean the pen, or to change the nibs, first we will unpost the pen, and then we'll utilize the piston to just discharge the ink back into the reservoir. And as you see, there it comes out. Now, even though I've depressed the piston all the way down, there will still be some ink left in the barrel, as well as in the feed. This feed right here is loaded. So I'll touch it to the paper and see how it all bleeds out. And there, now the feed is cleared a little bit. It's still messy though. But then, to clean it out, I would usually dump it in water, unscrew, and then soak everything briefly, and then you can recharge it with another nib and a different ink. C'est la même chose pour les autres. Au revoir.